I quite like Final Cut Pro most of the time. But every once in a while, this annoying, irritating, maddening thing happens, and I cannot find a good solution on the internet. But what happens is, so you've got your timeline and you have all of your clips, and all the clips have been brought in, and they can be different, and this seems like this may be part of the problem. They can be different resolutions and different whatnot, and Final Cut Pro renders them into optimized media, and then that's what it works with, and then when you output it, it outputs it to the format that you choose. What's happening is every once in a while a clip comes out black, so you rend it for half an hour or 20 minutes, and then you watch the finished product, and just right in the middle, one of the clips will be black. If it has titles over it, the titles will be fine. I don't know what it is. I've been up late a couple of nights so far on this project because of this maddening thing, and I went through and I had it re-optimize the media, and I just re-rendered today's Tedium Unlimited, because this is probably going to get tacked on tomorrow's, which by the time you hear this will be yesterday, at the very least. Anyway, frustrating. No. Just that is over the line. We will not be dealing with that. It's lunchtime, and I am having a craving for chicken fried steak, which is a craving which will not be denied. And this is the place where I'm going to have my steak, and more importantly, this is the steak. Oh, look at that gravy. We are home. And, yes, Amazon.com has delivered once again. This is the 1989 TV series The Saint with Simon Dutton, which is not very well received, but honestly, it's one of the better versions of The Saint out there. The reason I like the Simon Dutton 1989 version, there were lots of problems, don't get me wrong. There were lots of problems with those stories. The production and some of the acting and some of the staging and direction. But when you get right down to the heart of the stories, they were really kind of real Saint stories. Simon Templar, in case you don't know which I'm talking about, the Saint. Because in the books, particularly in the old days, the Saint was a criminal. He stole from criminals. He killed criminals. He meted out his own justice. He was a vigilante. But then he took the money, whatever he pilfered from the criminals, and he gave 90% of it back to the victims, or in the case where the victims weren't immediately identifiable, he gave it to charity, and he kept 10% for himself, which is how he maintained his exorbitant lifestyle. And I really like that about the Saint. I mean, it's some sort of fantasy wish fulfillment, sweeping sword of justice kind of thing. But when they started making him for TV, in particular Roger Moore, I mean, he was just a sort of gentleman adventurer. He never pocketed cash at the end of the stories. He was always just sort of there and solving it for his sense of justice. And occasionally they'd mention him, like, oh, you're a criminal, when they get to the police, but he never really was very criminal. He was just milquetoast. And that's not Roger Moore's portrayal. That's all of them, Ian Ogilvy, and even going back to some of the older films, George Sanders and whatnot. And then And Val Kilmer, that was just like The Saint by somebody who'd never actually bothered to know what The Saint was. I don't know. Anyway, so it's time to open the packages. As you can see, it's got the arrow telling you where the pull strip is to open it. However, there is no pull strip to open it, so I'm guessing that means tear here. Oh. What do you know? And there it is, the back of the DVD. But if I were to turn it around, it would be the front of the DVD. The Saint. Set 2. Look at that little bit of fake gray. Yeah, the fake gray is a little bit much. You know, this is going to be a short one today because I've been up way too late working on these at night, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start kind of running them from 5 p.m. to 5 p.m. or roughly thereabouts, so that it gives me a little time to put them together before I get them out, and hopefully don't have the frustrating problems that I did last night getting it output. So that's it for today. I did have one thing I wanted to mention, which I thought was really cool. If you haven't heard, Google Earth, you've heard of Google Earth. Well, maybe you haven't heard of Google Earth. Anyway, Google Earth is the cool, googly, earthy thing that they do. It's one of the cool things they do and not one of the evil things that they do, like read all your email. And so it's they just spy on you from satellites for Google Earth. Anyway, so you have Google Earth, and they had Google Earth Pro, which cost $400 a year for all the extra features, which included, amongst other things, the ability to export high-definition movies from Google Earth animations. And news organizations use this all the time. So you want to see what the city in Tehran looks like, and you don't want to send a person into Tehran, you would fly over it and show them the embassies and things like that. And it would, you'd see the Google Earth logo at the bottom corner. That's the Google advertising. That's how they get their name out there. Anyway, it's free. They no longer charge $400 a year. And so I got it. And I got it mainly because of camp. Because we're trying to improve our directions to show people how to get to camp. And so I was able to take it and render out a little movie, which I'm going to show you a little bit of here. You've probably seen these flyby animations from Google Earth before. And, you can do these in Google Earth without the Pro anyway, but you couldn't record them and output them as HD movies like I have incorporated here. And this is just a little bit of the flyover on the road to camp. Anyway, that's it for me tonight. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, because all those vlogs say that, although, honestly, be nice. Please. Don't, if you're going to comment, say anyway. Good night.